I couldn't really think of a good way to start this whole communication. I needed some flashy joke or a quote or a story to grab your attention and make you smile. But the problem is, we haven't talked in a while. And it's not that I don't know you, I do, it's that you've forgotten my voice. See, a while back you made some bad choices. There was a battle without chance of winning and a storm brought about by your sinning and, well, you seem pretty confused. Let me start at the beginning. You went to the beach when you were a kid, but you stayed out of the water because you'd seen what Jaws did, so you sat there in the sand and stayed out of the water in spite of the fact that it was obviously hotter than 1,000,000 degrees outside. But you sat there on the beach, and as your skin slowly fried, you played in the sand, picking it up and watching it fall out of your hand. Once your dad came up and said, "Go on and swim, there's nothing to be afraid of." But taking a handful, you asked him, "What's this stuff made of?" And he told you, "Sand is tiny rocks, worn down by the pressure." And you left there that day with your curiosity none the lesser, and I guess it could be attributed to this fascination so grand that in building a house, you selected land with a foundation based entirely on sand. Well, from the outside, it's perfect, the best of all homes, but I can see through the walls and the stones. You go to a building to worship the God that you claim, but your songs are all empty, your prayers sound the same. I can see through it, see your guilt and your shame. I know the number of hairs on your head, and I know your name. But you've built this wall in between us, this wall of stained glass, whose beauty comes from the light shining out from inside. So as much as you're in the dark trying to hide, I know you, way deep down inside, how your beliefs just never coincide. You're always looking for excuses to divide. You're digging, looking deep inside the Bible, but not for saving grace and salvation, but for basis of argument and accusation, ignoring the slowly rising tide. So when I tell you, take your staff and part the Red Sea, you stare bewildered back at me and say, "I can't. And where have you been?" And I say, "I've been knocking, but you won't let me in. I've already freed you from all of your sin. I came and I died so you could enter in. You're running a race all the runners can win." But you sigh and turn back to your prison again. Inside in the dark, you sit down in the sand and proceed to tie yourself up with the laces of your $160 Air Jordans. Or you pick the brand. You dig through your closet for something to wear because most assuredly everyone will care. You get up at 5:30 to style your hair, but beauty, perfection, it's already there because I made you in my image. So when you dislike how you look, you insult your creator. But you say, "Hold on, I'll get back to you later. First, I've just got to get my hair a bit straighter." So the next time that you're alone in the garden and the serpent has induced your proud heart to harden, you sell the God in whom you've claimed to believe for a garment sewn of fig leaves. Think about it this way. If you did for someone everything that I've done for you, and in return they treated you the way you treat me, then begged you for forgiveness insincerely, how would you feel? Well, you'd feel like Germany after Hitler and World War II. You'd feel like Sylvester Stallone every time he looks at Rocky VI, like Harrison Ford every time he looks at Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, like George Lucas every time he looks at Jar Jar Binks and thinks, "What was I thinking when I created this monstrosity?" But this isn't how I view humanity. Despite your limitless and unceasing betrayal of me, despite the way you take your fists and beat against this rock, trying to make more sand, I still love you, even though you can't understand that clinging to 1,000,000,000,000 tiny rocks that taunt you and slip out of your hand when you need something to cling to is like giving a man trapped on a desert island $10 billion and saying, "There you go, now all your dreams can come true." It's as pointless as a pencil with 2 erasers. It's been said that you can't judge somebody by how he acts when life's all smiles, that you have to look at him during his trials, and you've given yourself no shortage of those. You built a house out of Facebook, Starbucks, and clothes, and the storm came. And your house, your life came crashing down, and you cried out, "Lord, save me, I'm going to drown," and I feel compassion for you, my son, my daughter, and I find you and save you walking on water. And this water has already washed out your stains, but I proceed to cause you more immense pains by ripping out of your soul all the chains that you have so subtly fastened there with intentionally unconscious care. As an afterthought, I call to the winds and the waves, "Be still." and set you on your feet again. And say, sometimes when I'm knocking and you won't let me in, it takes the door breaking down. And I brush off the last of the sand clinging to your skin.